They say that love is a many-splendored thing, and trust is a many-layered thing. At least that's what I say. I am really troubled by the ways we look at trust. So often and on a regular basis, I hear people say something very generic like, I don't trust this person, or I don't trust you. And it's frankly a rather naive concept. Because if you think about it, the question is, what is it that you don't trust? Now, you may have some people in your life, and if so, I feel bad that this is reality, that you literally trust nothing about them. But my guess is there's some specific things you don't trust about them, or you don't trust them to do, or a certain behavior you don't trust them to engage in. But the rest you have some trust with. And because we want to self-protect, keep ourselves safe, we typically put this big brush of trust on things. And the problem is it does protect you in theory, only in theory, because there is no true form of psychological protection or even physical protection ultimately. So it's a false sense of safety. But the reality, what happens is we create separation, we create disconnection, we create chaos in many cases because we've got this big kind of a, not even a roller, but a spray can of paint of lack of trust. And therefore we can't solve it because the broad brush of not trusting is not really solvable. But what is solvable and redeemable and healable is when we can say this specific thing is what I don't trust. And typically it comes from a specific behavior, either a pattern behavior or sometimes it's a single behavior. This thing happens, I have distrust, and then I go, I don't trust you. Frankly, that's not leadership. I am all for taking care of ourselves, and there may be unique situations where it is important for us psychologically, physically, emotionally to give this big, broad stroke, I don't trust you. And maybe some people have earned it. And maybe disconnection makes sense for you. But it seems to me that too often we're brushing away people with this lack of trust comment. Or we're not giving a path forward to either of us in relationship because we've got this big brush rather than this tiny little pinpoint brush of this thing I don't trust. It's interesting. I have people in my life that I have a wide range of trust with. I have people that I would trust anything and everyone to. And I have people that I would trust my children's lives with, but I might not trust certain other things about them. Trust is not this big bucket. And we've talked for a long time about the ways that it takes a while to build trust and we can quickly break it. But part of that breakage is that when a trust is broken, and I'm not talking about a confidence, but when something happens that I conclude I've got a trust issue with you, rather than work through that issue, I paint you no trust. And the disconnection is complete. And I don't know about you, but it seems to me our disconnection is bad enough already. So let's look at the layers of trust, not just the broad labels of trust.